Radio.
Hello and welcome to Cryptocurrent, the only podcast to bring you beginner and advanced knowledge of cryptocurrency and blockchain, analyses of cryptocurrency markets, and discussions on growing a business within the crypto space. Stay tuned and stay cryptocurrent.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Again, another special treat for you today. We have one of our speakers for the Cryptocurrent conference with us today. He is going to be on the panel with me and a couple of other amazing people, which we're going to be talking about education in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. So without further ado, I want to introduce Jacob Lill. Jacob, thank you for joining us today, man.
Hey, of course, Richard. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm really looking forward to this conference. It's going to be great to get back down there and to spread the good word of blockchain.
No doubt, no doubt. So go ahead and give us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little background. I was very fortunate, everyone, just to let you know how I met Jacob. I met him through Wayne Marcel, who's also going to be one of the speakers at the conference, and he was on the show a couple of months ago, and we had a really great conversation. I was so enthralled by just how much information Jacob had about the space. I was like, yo, you have to be on this panel with us. And so it's going to be me, Jacob, Wayne, and then we're going to have a panel host, Ricky, all on the panel, talking about this education. And I just wanted everyone to be able to hear it from you first, so get a little bit of a pep talk or a little bit of understanding of what they can expect when they come to our conference to hear about this. So, yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. So I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. My entire adult life, I've started companies, and I really focus on a lot of new and emerging markets that have a new set of rules, a new set of systems that have to be developed, and kind of a redesign of an industry from the ground up. That's really what gets my gears going. So, I got my start in the medical industry, the alternative medical industry, and I got started with medical cannabis back in about 2007, right around there. And I'm from Denver, Colorado, and everybody knows this is a big state for patients' rights and on recreational marijuana these days. I started up with one of the first handful of dispensaries out. And at that time, it was the wild, wild west, no regulations. There was no systems. There were overseeing boards, and dispensaries and the patients and the local governments were kind of left there to figure everything out from the ground up. So I participated in that as an activist. I participated in that as a business owner and as a patient myself. I helped to open one of the first medical marijuana dedicated doctor's offices up in the state, and we did very well with all that. We were able to help enormous amount of patients, and that was great. After I found about as much success as I was looking for in Colorado, I decided to move out to Las Vegas, and this time I decided to do things a little bit differently. I started a true nonprofit, patient-owned member cooperative. And this was owned by all the patients. Everybody contributed with medicine, with education, with support for all the other members. And from that, we started the Giving Green Foundation, which helped end-of-life patients with medical costs, personal costs, and any real end-of-life expenses they were going through. And through creating a really collaborative, collective model, we were able to help a lot of people, and we were able to maintain a smooth and steady operation while giving stuff away at absolutely no cost for those that were in need. From there, I did a handful of other ventures. My last big one was in the alternative travel space, the alternative real estate space, more specifically in Airbnbs and VRBOs. So I started a company that managed over $100 million in real estate assets and helped somewhere along about 3,500 guests a month stay in properties. And we were an end-to-end solution. We worked with property owners, property investors, and guests to just keep the flow going and help turn real assets into something that was able to be shared with the sharing economy and fully managed without all the headaches that are in a short. That for a number of years, built up a very large business, and then the time came little over a year ago where I decided that it would behoove me to really dive into the blockchain space and spend all my time, energy, and resources in one, understanding what this is, what this means, and what the potential of such a monumental shift in systems that blockchain allows for could make possible. And two, how I could do my part to make that change happen in the most positive and efficient way possible. So, I stepped down as my role of the CEO from that company. And then I dedicated myself into the space. And since then, I've had the pleasure of developing some unbelievable teams and working on a multitude of different unbelievable projects and really just spreading the word about blockchain and helping people to understand what it is, why it's important, and how it can be applied to their personal lives or virtually any business that is in existence and really optimize what's taking place.
Wow. So first of all, as y'all can see, the passion in his voice and just like the experience this man has, you can see how he's going to make an impact in the space and why he is as well connected and making sure that people are getting educated in this space. It's part of who he is.
Yeah, you always have to focus on education. And, with concepts as big and sometimes hard to understand as blockchain, people aren't going to use these products. People aren't going to use these technologies if they don't understand what the value it's producing for them really is. So, I've said it from day one of entering this space, education first, everything else second, and let's change the world for the better.
No doubt. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that you're doing on the education front. What are some different projects that you're working on to help educate people on what's going on in both the blockchain and cryptocurrency space?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a two-part answer to that. So I am directly working on projects that's going to help elevate the educational space, but I'm not coming on this podcast to plug my own products. You'll hear about them soon enough. Everybody will. All I can say is just wait. Now, the second answer to that question is I'm taking a very grassroots approach in my personal life and with all the different projects that I'm working on right now. They're all focused in different ways on spreading education, information about not only the products and projects they're creating, but also on the space. Because, some of these are very high-level theoretical projects, and they have the potential to do great, great things, but there's a definite learning curve involved with understanding the benefits that they provide. So we started a grassroots route of, first and foremost, educating anybody that I know and educating anybody I ever come into contact with. And, everybody's interested in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, and they might not fully understand what blockchain technology is. So I try and definitely create a shift in my approach to explaining both of those to people. But then through the different projects, Concierge specifically, we have all kinds of meetups over the country. We travel all over the place, going to conventions and speaking at different events and trying to share what knowledge we have and share what ideas we have for the future and what can be possible.
Definitely. And I know you don't want to plug in all the different projects that you're working on, but I got to let you at least do one of these plugs. And can you tell us about your involvement with Concierge Club and everything that you have going with that?
So I've been working with Concierge Club for a little over a year now. And, I was originally introduced to the product and project from my good friend Daryl DiPietro, who's the founder and CEO of the company. And, he was involved in the crypto space as early on as I was. And, we were just a couple of friends trying to figure it out in the beginning and without the initial intention of working on the project together. But when I would learn something cool, I'd give him a call. Or when he'd learn something amazing, he'd give me a call. Or when either one of us had a question or needed help understanding something, we'd use each other as a resource. And, we built a real good crypto relationship just by going on that education and learning process together. So, I was working on a handful of other projects at the time, and Daryl was really doing very well with Concierge and had assembled an amazing team and had launched a product that was available in the App Store. And this was at the time very early on when a lot of these big crypto companies, they were still theoretic. And they didn't have working products or even betas, and they would have examples, but they didn't have something that you could use today, right now. But he put all of his focus on that and had an amazing developer, Michael, we call him Yoda, and put a product together, and I was blown away at his ability to do so. But not only that, he started getting local businesses involved, and he had local business operating with the point of sale system and actually accepting Concierge Club cryptocurrency for their goods and services, which was so cool to see that early on in the space. And even today, I was just in Las Vegas a week or so ago for CES, and we threw a little get-together at Goat Sports Bar, and we had all these people from the convention and all these people in the blockchain space coming by, and we were picking up beers with our cryptocurrency, and they had the point of sale system going right on an iPad. And it was a really cool experience to see this in the real world and to get a drink with a piece of cryptocurrency. Like that was still blows me away to this day every time I see it. But anyway, so Daryl had really impressed me with everything he put together. So I decided to come on initially as an investor, and then working a little bit more with the project, I decided to help out any way that I could, and I ended up taking the position of CTO with them and just helping with the technology development and making sure everything's running smooth and putting together this and the future projects or products that we're getting ready to release to the market.
Which is really phenomenal. The whole progression of how y'all even got to the point of today. I know y'all been working on this for quite a while now. And just to see the leaps and bounds of where you've come in the last year, it's just a true testament of y'all being able to build an amazing team and being able to build and feed off of each other and making sure that this project becomes a reality. So in that process.
Yeah. And, it's really a collaborative course that a lot of these projects are taking, and it's going to allow us to grow by leaps and bounds and really do some cool stuff together. And Louisiana has a special place in my heart, because right when I came on with Concierge, that was the first place that I went to. I ended up going to Collision Conference almost a year ago now at this point, where that was my first time being part of the Concierge Club team. And that was my first time having that firsthand experience with the crypto market and really meeting all these people that are working on these different projects and seeing the passion and the ingenuity and the collaborative forces of everybody just getting together to build something great for the world.
No, that's cool, man. I was out there too. Didn't get our paths didn't cross yet at the time, but which is a big reason why I wanted to throw on the cryptocurrency conference, was to keep that spirit going, man, and to keep that momentum of educating people and bringing people together that wanted to learn more about cryptocurrency and blockchain and all the new ingenuity and projects that are coming out of it, man, and just to keep that moving forward. But what I was going to ask you earlier about, as you're putting together these processes and getting out Concierge Club to more people, what were some of the community building tactics that y'all used to get this out to more people? I know you said your meetups, but was there anything else that y'all were doing?
Yeah. So with Concierge specifically, so anything and everything. So we still do. We put together meetups. We have meetups in different states right now. And, it's to bring in new people. It's to get ideas. It's not necessarily to talk about even Concierge. It's to talk about cryptocurrencies and blockchains and give people a space where they can get together with other people that are thinking the same things and often have the same questions and really work together to figure this big system out. So we do that. We travel all over the place, speaking at different conventions and meeting with different groups. And, I can't even tell you where Daryl is at this time. I think he's been in 3 or 4 states in the last week, just having different meetings and working with different organizations and speaking at different events and really just trying to spread the good word.
This is incredible, the power of networking and just grassroots getting in front of people and expanding in that way, because people get you a lot further, and than you could by yourself. And just having those connections to have someone bridge you to the next person, to the next step, you just move so much faster when you have people that can bring you there. And
Yeah, and it's not only that, but I always think about it like this. So blockchain is such a new industry, cryptocurrency is such a new industry that a lot of the problems haven't been solved quite yet. We're still in its infancy. We're still in the first couple of years of people getting really excited about this. And there's some big question marks right there. And, I hope some of those answers come from me. I hope some of those answers come from you. But who knows? There could be a little old lady that learns about blockchain 6 months from now that just has that idea in her head. And, the answers can come from anybody and everyone. And it's just giving people the right education, the right knowledge, and the right platform so they can share their knowledge, they can share their ideas. And, if something's a great idea, it's going to be adopted by everybody.
No doubt. No doubt. So kind of shifting gears a little bit, I know that you say you're working on a lot of various projects yourself, but outside of those projects, what is one big project or anything that's in the space right now that has you really excited coming out in 2019?
Okay, so I'll answer that question in two ways. One, I'm very excited about a lot of the products that are coming out, and I think they're going to make a big impact, and they're going to do their part leading towards mass adoption. But the thing that really gets me going and gets me even more excited is a lot of the problems that these projects are solving for themselves, but also with the whole mentality of sharing development, open source, making this available to not only their project, but other projects as well. Because, a project that might seem silly to you or me might solve a question or a problem that could lead to something amazing in the future. So, I'm excited about a lot of projects that are out there. Probably the one that has piqued my interest more than anything right now is the Blockchain Education Network. Have you heard about this, Richard?
I have not.
Okay, so I got introduced to the director, Eric, when I was in New York probably about a month ago at a crypto thing at the NASDAQ. And, we got together after the event. We started talking about his project, and I was blown away. So what they are is they're a group of different college blockchain and Bitcoin clubs that like to play this little game called Let's Make Mass Adoption Happen. That's a cool
very
game.
fun game.
I want to play that game, and I think you want to play that game too,
No
Richard.
doubt.
So right now, and these are some old stats from probably a few months back, but they have over 2,000 students from 200 universities across 100 countries.
Oh yes. Oh, actually.
So they have students.
Yeah. No, I definitely know about this. So some of our interns for Cryptocurrent, they're actually a part of it. They help bring this community to Tulane University. So yes, actually, I am familiar with this. But go on, continue.
Yeah. Blockchain Education Network. They are awesome. But anyway, so what they're doing is they're creating a standardization in the education, and then they're circulating it out to all the students. But not only that, they're allowing all the students to contribute to this education too. And when I say they're all over the world, they're at more schools than I can even name, but a couple of their national chapters are Ben USA, Ben Australia, Ben Colombia, Ben India, Ben Italy, Ben Netherlands, Ben Vietnam, and I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And it's so cool to really take these problems that we're trying to solve and give them out to a global audience of creative and talented people that are not only learning this stuff, but also creating the systems that everybody's working with. And like you said, you're working with a few interns from them. They're working with a lot of major projects, and it just shows the whole collaborative nature of this space. And, it's very exciting.
Definitely. Yeah. When one of my interns came up to me, he was like, hey, so I got informed with these guys, and they're like, hey, they want to bring this to Tulane. I was like, yes, let's find a way. Let's do it. And once they expanded and they said how just massive this network is, like I just went online to look at their website, and it on here it says there are 32 blockchain clubs across three continents, 2,350 students and graduates across 1,000 universities. Like, that's powerful. And like, it's just the beginning. And it goes to show there's power in teaching the next generation about how to continue to improve the products that are still yet to come.
Well, of course. And not only that, but when you think about what blockchain really is and what it allows for, you know, some of these old systems that are in place and have been in place for such a long time might not be the best avenue, might not be the best way to, one, create a standardization in the education and make sure everybody's on the same page, but also to create a model where new information, whether it's from Vietnam or the United States or Russia or wherever, can immediately be shared with all the students participating within this program. And, you know, that's when magic happens.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, Nick and Noah, shout out to y'all for becoming a part of this and helping educate me on this, but also want to thank you for, bringing this back up and further like getting people to understand about BIN and some of these other blockchain opportunities that are out there and the several more projects and networking groups that are presenting themselves as opportunities for people to further their education, which is the main topic of what we've been discussing here today, and it's important. So I really appreciate that, Jacob, with you leading and steering this conversation today. So I have to ask before you leave, and I do this for all of our speakers that come through, to leave us with a final thought, whether it's on blockchain, cryptocurrency, just a tidbit of knowledge, all the above. What's a final thought you want to leave here today with all of our listeners?
Okay, well, I have a final thought for you. But first, Richard, I want to thank you so much for one, letting me on your podcast. This was great. But two, everything that you're doing for the space right now. Like my hat's off to you, my friend. Putting together conferences and conventions and meetups and all this stuff, it's not easy. And it's also not cheap. And it really shows people that are trying to spread the word and trying to create a positive impact within the space, but also outside of the space. You know, all these meetups, all these conferences, it's great for people that are already aware of blockchain and already aware of cryptocurrencies, but it's just as important for people that haven't figured it out yet. And only by continuing to spread the word is how we're going to have the biggest impact possible. But so, yeah, thank you again, my friend. I really appreciate everything you're doing for the space.
And I really appreciate the words, man.
But no, yeah, of course. My final words is this, and it's just something for everybody to think about. If we work together, we can create a standardized, universally accepted, decentralized model. In building this model, we can allow for contribution between individuals, entities, governments, and frontier technologies, while minimizing the barrier of entry for individuals to contribute. Our collective focus will be on enhancing the individual's ability to understand, create, measure, and receive rewards as we successfully execute advanced solutions for the betterment of the world. And you know, what I mean by that is this is a big task that all of us have in front of us. And it's only by partnering, collaboratively working together, and really doing this as one that we're going to be able to create the true impact that we're trying to create.
That was very well said, man. I really do appreciate you leaving that as a final thought. That is absolutely the way to go. People, we need to collaborate. We need to keep making this happen. And as you heard here today, Jacob is helping lead the pack. So again, we got Jacob Lill with us today. He's going to be at the conference, so everyone you come meet him. But Jacob, if there's any other ways that people can connect with you, what are some ways that they can do that?
Yeah, you know, the easiest way is my email, jacob.lill@me.com. Feel free to reach out with any ideas and projects, or even just to say hi. But definitely come down to the conference. I'll be there. Say hi. Come get a drink with me afterwards, and let's make this happen.
Perfect. Well, Jacob, thank you again so much for being with me today, and everyone that listens, stay cryptocurrent. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Cryptocurrent. For more information on this episode and all of our episodes, please visit us at www.crypto-current.co. Stay up to date with the latest news in cryptocurrency by signing up for our newsletter. You will receive a daily email Monday through Sunday that is personalized and curated content specific to you and your interest, powered by artificial intelligence. Get your tickets today. We are throwing the first cryptocurrency and blockchain conference in New Orleans in March 2019. You can get your tickets today at www.crypto-currentconf.co.
This has been another episode of Crypto Current, bringing you one step closer to becoming a crypto and blockchain aficionado. We look forward to giving you the latest in crypto news and analyses next week. Stay crypto current.
Please use available exits now.